Many people over the world, not me, might have been asking, how if Blurmp was charged for his crimes, how long will he be in jail for? And we can use this evidence for looking at all of the Catwad books, looking at every chapter until we find something that Blurmp did. We'll be doing this with Catwad, then Pig Michael also. So let's just continue on. Anyway, we are using every Catwad book, if you can see. We're going to turn it to 0.5x. Bam, you can see we have every Catwad book. And we'll start with It's Me and then end up all the way at You're Making Me 6. Let's start with It's Me. Let's see the first crime Blurmp committed. Attempted injury on one of his friends. Using a source on the internet to believe something. I know this is not a crime, but just don't believe it might not be true. I cannot brush your teeth for 15 minutes. Putting pizza and toenails on a pizza. Poison and toenails on a pizza. Naming himself after a fart. Getting a tattoo under the age of 18. And tattooing a tattoo on a chair, on a sandwich, on the palms of someone's hands, on their teeth, and on their butt. Becoming the new Marvel hero. Lying about there being fairy unicorns, but they're mosquitoes. Another attempt of self-belief, saying he's a mommy when it's cold. Hanging up Kleenexes with boogers. Not carving out a pumpkin on Halloween. Destruction of other people's property by dumping lemonade on a computer. Making someone else faint because they're too dumb. Making another person faint from dumb. Alright, we've looked at all of Blurmp's crimes in Catwad It's Me. Now we'll move on to Catwad It's Me too. Not cleaning up a mess when you have a friend coming over. Playing a commercial for diarrhea medicine instead of playing a real game. Gluing his friend to an art project. Lying and saying that he was going to make fish for dinner, but instead brings real fish to dinner. Lying by saying he's a robot when he basically has braces. Creation of another person that's not a person. Playing the violin incorrectly and going to a concert without having a concert license. Writing a book but then not reading it. Replacing the motor of a hairdryer with a leaf blower. Hurting a friend by getting bitten by planting a catnip. Cutting friend's hair off. Another kind of destruction to a friend. Alright, we solved Blurmp's crimes in Catwad It's Me too. Now we're moving on to Me Free. Buying a backpack not to bring it to school. Popping bubblegum bubbles. Destruction of people's property for throwing Catwad's phone in the ocean. Punching a friend so bad he loses his teeth. Bringing a phone to a concert. Gonna tell potty humor joke but can't because Catwad declined it. Attacking friend. Another kind of destruction of a friend for biting his tail. Buying a journal to do nothing and not doing anything 96 years later. Saying spiders are good. I feel bad for any Australian watching this. Turning the silly meter up high. Eating dinner with a random blue guy you don't even know. Pretending to be a pop star when you're not a pop star. Alright guys, we did all of them. Now let's move on for me, which probably has the most Blurmp crimes. Not playing golf the correct way. Taking care of people you don't even know. Using an idea to use books to play video games. Damage on a friend for slamming him with a door trying to do a knock-knock joke. And does it repeatedly. Reading a boy a princess story. Stalking somebody with a hidden security camera. Another form of lying by saying something is 1 calorie, but instead it's 1 million calories. Again, lying saying he's at one-way road and no parking street. Another form of lying by saying he didn't put on the high setting in the dryer. Calling the police because of something random. Highlighting a friend. Making the dumbest poem ever. Took the trash can out when he's supposed to throw it in the garbage. Opening the window to get the flies in. Alright, for Measum, now let's move on to High Five. Kicking a friend repeatedly with a soccer ball. Digest a friend. injury on a friend for slamming him with a chair. Doing the same thing when his friend said that he's not soup. Not saying excuse me when he burped. Glitching out like he's in an old 40s cartoon. Breaking somebody's leg so he can draw on their cast. Not adding sugar to lemonade. Oh, Kanun, we done with that book? And now we're doing You're Making Me 6. Digging himself into a toilet. Running into a pole. Squinting at a newspaper. Watering a squirrel. Going to an eye doctor that's not really an eye doctor. Not doing what his friend tells him to do because he piled up the stuff onto the dresser. Texting somebody something that they don't know. They know LOL and TTYL, but they don't know TAGIR. Driving a bus without a license and crashing it and also breaking all his friend's bones. Again saying spiders are nice. Lying by saying his main enemy was the red boxer, but he thought it was a blue puncher. Not playing basketball correctly. Saying an alien is nice. Speaking a made-up language. Attempted destruction of himself for slapping him with a lightsaber, pretending he's in Star Wars. Not riding a bike to the stop sign is not turn go, that's the light. Saying he's too old to play dinosaurs when they've waited like 80 years. We've done it. We solved all of this guy's crimes.